Good afternoon. My name is Brenna Durden, and I'll serve as the Special Magistrate for Code Enforcement for the City of Jacksonville Beach. This is the hearing on a dangerous dog investigation. The matter numbers are CCR number 24002053 and 25000751 regarding a dog named Dr. Seuss. I'll turn it over to our clerk to read the announcements, please.
The purpose and function of the Jacksonville Beach Special Magistrate hearing, in accordance with Florida Statutes Chapter 162 and the City of Jacksonville Beach Code of Ordinances, is to reach an equitable expedition to enforce the codes. The city presents the violation and evidence to the special magistrate. Next, the property owner is sworn in and responds to the violation and evidence. Both the city and the property owner may call witnesses to provide sworn testimony relevant to the case. This is a quasi-judicial hearing, not a public forum. Individuals not called as sworn witnesses will not be heard.
Thank you very much. So we'll proceed today. The animal control will make a presentation, and then anyone, I understand, are you Ms. Duran? Okay, thank you. And then Ms. Duran, and then other people will be allowed to speak. If there's anyone here to speak on this matter, including the officers and Ms. Duran, if you're going to speak on the matter, the clerk will swear you in, please. So anybody who thinks that they may speak today needs to stand and be sworn so that your testimony is sworn testimony. What? You want to swear them in when they come out? Okay. Then do you want to do one at a time? Is that what you want to do? Okay. Fair enough. Sorry. I apologize. We'll swear you in as you speak. So if you would, Ms. Krish, please proceed.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please state your name and position.
Isis Crack, Jacksonville Beach Animal Control Officer.
Please proceed.
So our first interaction with Dr. Seuss or Miss Doran at all was on June 10th.
Excuse me, can you get the mic a little bit closer so that everyone can hear, including me?
Is that better? Better?
A little bit.
Testing?
Yes.
Perfect. So our first interaction with Dr. Seuss or Miss Doran was on June 10th, 2024. Animal Control was made aware of a series of incidents involving a German Shepherd dog named Dr. Seuss, owned by Miss Doran. At the time, the location was 1412 First Street North, Unit 309. The complainant lived across the hall in Unit 308. And our first complainant at the time was Miss Burns. So Miss Burns complained that Dr. Seuss was frequently off-leash, which caused her to not feel safe when leaving her house. Burns claimed that Dr. Seuss had previously attacked her boyfriend's dog inside their own residence, and at the time there was several lifestyle changes that Miss Burns had to make, resulting that altercation. One such change that Miss Burns had to make is she was no longer able to babysit her boyfriend's dog anytime that he went out of town due to the aggression that Dr. Seuss has shown towards the dog. Burns further claimed that she needed to buy a Ring camera for her front door so that she could check if Dr. Seuss was outside before she enters or leaves her unit, since he displays aggressive behavior towards her in the halls by barking and lunging. She additionally stated that if she does know that Dr. Seuss is outside, by viewing her Ring camera, then she's not able to enter or leave her unit because he will charge her front door. As a result of that complaint, we did have 2 more complainants from the same condo come forward. The additional complainants were Mr. Blackwell and Mr. Brindley, also residing at that same condo. Both of their complaints were that Dr. Seuss, they have observed for him to be off leash, both in the condo, on First Street, and on the beach proper. At the time, that resulted in just the civil citation for Dr. Seuss being off leash, and there was no aggressive dog behavior investigation. Our second case involving Dr. Seuss, and our most recent case, was on March 7th, 2025, so this year, and it was involving a dog bite incident that occurred at 1412 First Street North. The victim of the dog bite was Olivia Rodriguez. She stated that she was bitten by Dr. Seuss while she was walking through the parking lot of the complex. Rodriguez stated she observed for Dr. Seuss to be running down the stairs, dragging a leash on the ground, with the owner a good distance behind him, but not physically holding the leash. And Rodriguez stated that when she saw Dr. Seuss, she stopped, and Dr. Seuss approached her and bit her twice, once on the back of the arm and on the back of the right arm and right hip. Doran was able to regain control of Dr. Seuss once she caught up with him, and after that, there was a report made. 3 other complainants came forward after that incident, stating that they also believe that Dr. Seuss has engaged in aggressive behavior in other facets. The first complainant was Miss Bullard. She stated that she's previously been charged by Dr. Seuss at the beach, physically on the beach, as well as in front of her unit door. She lives on the first floor on unit 107. She says that she frequently sees the dog off leash, and she fears for both her and her dog's safety. The second complainant who submitted an affidavit was Miss Rodriguez as well, and as well as Mr. Blackwell. Mr. Blackwell stated he observed for Dr. Seuss to be off leash several times, and he was afraid that his aggressive behavior would result in some sort of lawsuit against the condo association due to the amount of incidents that they were hearing about. The final person that completed an affidavit for that incident was Miss Burns. She lives right across the hall, and again stated that Dr. Seuss has bitten her dog, which she had already mentioned to us before, and that she's also been cornered by Dr. Seuss on more than one occasion in the halls, and Dr. Seuss has also bared his teeth, growled, and lunged at her previously. So based on the evidence and statements that we were given, and the most recent bite, we did determine that Dr. Seuss has displayed aggressive behavior and is willing to bite a person and approach people in a menacing fashion, which has resulted in us recommending that Dr. Seuss is declared a dangerous dog.
I know that part of the package that you provided to me initially included several sworn statements. I just want to confirm that whether or not everybody that you mentioned, that I know that let me just read to you the ones that I have. I have the one from Miss Rodriguez. I want to have one from Alexis Bullard, Mr. Richard Blackwell, and Sophie Burns.
Yes.
Are those the ones that?
Yes.
Okay. And those are all the ones that you mentioned?
Yes, that I gave brief
during your
summaries of.
testimony.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay, thank you very much. I don't have any other questions for you.
And we do have some people that do want to speak, so I don't know if we want to do it after.
Yes. Okay, thank you. I'll let Ms. Duran speak now, and then we'll take other people from who are here to participate. Excuse me, you have to move over to the podium and be sworn in first.
Okay.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please state your name and address.
Rebecca Doran, 2680 Bonaventure Avenue, Jacksonville, 32250.
You may proceed.
May I approach the bench as I do have documents gathered for you?
Okay, you have some documents?
I do.
Do you have more than one copy?
Yes, I do.
Okay, would you give one to the animal control officer, please? And then one to me, please. And do you have a third one?
I do not.
Okay. I'll provide my copy to the clerk when we're done.
I'd like to hold on to at least one copy for my notes, but that's okay.
Is this everything?
This is everything.
I'm just going to look through them briefly,
Please. Thank you.
Okay, I have not had a chance to look at everything, but I'm assuming that you're going to be discussing each of the documents you provided.
I do plan to, so, ma'am.
Okay, please proceed.
I don't have a copy in front of me right now, so
I'm sorry, I cannot hear anything.
I do not have a copy in front of me right now, so if you could, according to case.
Oh, you don't have a copy?
No, ma'am. A copy went.
Oh,
So I have
that's
something to
great.
reference.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, well then I'm going to continue to read until she comes back.
Please.
Thank you very much for doing that. Okay, you may proceed.
Okay. So referencing case ending in 053, dog off leash. There has been numerous occasions where Sophie Burns herself has a dog, her boyfriend's dog, a big Doberman Pinscher, who has been seen off leash, but yet that has not been reported by myself nor my mother. Her boyfriend's Doberman Pinscher has also jumped on my 82-year-old mother, who has stability issues with handicap, but that also was not reported. So I find it just a little biased, if you would say.
Could you tell me when that occurred?
That occurred in the back last year, May of last year, June of last year.
The dog, the
Doberman,
Doberman, who is Miss.
Miss Sophie Burns' boyfriend's dog, yes. And it's a large dog. When Sophie Burns claims that Dr. Seuss attacked her dog, it was a hot summer day.
It was what?
A hot summer day, and I had just gotten back from the beach. Dr. Seuss and I play fairly actively on the beach. We run miles down the beach. We play ball. As I was attending to him and washing him down, Sophie Burns approached me with her dog, her boyfriend's dog, and wanted our dogs to befriend each other. And this was not the right time nor the right occasion to do so. So my dog merely...
Why wasn't it? What was
because
it?
It was excessive heat. My dog was tired. He was thirsty. It was 95 degrees outside. It was just not the perfect right time to make friends with dogs. So my dog did not attack her dog. There was no visible marks. I even asked Sophie Burns if I could see or if there were any marks, and she replied with, "Why don't you look yourself?" I said, "That is not my dog." At that time, her and I had a few words, and then from that day on, it has been harassment and constant issues with her.
And that was in May of...
I believe so, Your Honor. May, June, July. It was the summer.
Okay.
I'd also like to state that Ms. Burns has sent over 50 plus videos to animal control over the past year, or actually it was a period of 3 months. Day in, day out, I could buy animal control's demeanor. I could see that this was kind of an annoyance to them, but they had to do what they had to do. Therefore, I got cited with a $50 citation, which I paid willingly with no issue there.
What was the citation for?
No leash on my dog. Now, the way the condo is situated, so my mother, she has gone through some medical issues, and I was there with her to rehabilitate her, and so therefore I lived with her for quite some time, and when so the way the condo is situated, there's my mom's door, and then Miss Burns is directly adjacent from my mom, and my dog. There would be times where I wouldn't have the leash on in my hand. The leash would be on my dog's neck, but I would therefore easily grab the leash and walk the rest down the hallway. Just because I walked out of the door without the leash in hand does not mean that my dog was off leash the entire time. But she continuously sent 50 plus videos, which significantly contributed to this ongoing harassment case.
Okay, go ahead.
In reference to case number 250000751, the alleged animal bite, the injury described in this case was not a bite, but merely a scratch. The photo evidence clearly shows a superficial marking inconsistent with a bite. There were no puncture wounds or broken skin. I play with my dog all the time, and I get scratches. And my sister, who will attest here very shortly, she also is a dog boarder who has scratches all over her. That doesn't mean that it deems a dangerous dog. So for the report to conclude that it was a dog bite when it wasn't thoroughly investigated raises issues to me. I also feel that animal control didn't follow up with the in-person inspection after the required 10-day quarantine. It was as if it was case closed. This was after the quote-unquote bite. There was no thorough investigation done by animal control. It was more hearsay from what the cop reported. The cop reported that it was a bite when clearly when you look at it, it shows it's a scratch. The second page of the scratch looks like an old scratch. So I don't even know if that would be something to consider as part of this incident. Also, the investigation, I believe, lacked thoroughness. Because there was actually no reason, no evidence that Dr. Seuss has bitten anyone. Never, ever has he bitten any person at all. I'd like to take this case into an ongoing harassment and privacy violation. There are numerous photos, including minors, that were taken and sent to animal control and where else, who knows where they went. If you look at photo of me walking on the beach, it's funny because they want to claim that Dr. Seuss is an aggressive dog, but yet you see a woman and her child walking toward Dr. Seuss and petting Dr. Seuss. Well, where are the photos of that, of Dr. Seuss being petted by people on the beach? He's a very well-trained, well-mannered German Shepherd who does not approach anybody at the beach or show any aggression at the beach. It has come to my conclusion that this is mainly based in the condo where these incidents may occur. As far as the harassment and privacy violations, there's been defamation of character. At my place of business, I ran into a tenant who I don't believe is here today, but I was informed by him that the residents of the San Pablo condominium have created a petition against me and my mother, and that me and my mother were hated, which is defamatory, and this really is significant in my mother's place of residence. Also, Sophie Burns and Richard Blackwell have continued to surveil me, taking photos and videos without consent. It's just been relentless. I have to watch my back every time I come and visit my mother. My mother absolutely loves Dr. Seuss. He's a service animal in a way to many, especially to my mother recovering from cancer. And now that I am no longer, I just don't want to face the battle and being put in that situation as I have been over the past year. I've decided to no longer take him there. My mother is very saddened by that, but it is what it is. So in my closing remarks, Your Honor, I like to just state that even though Dr. Seuss, he might be a large dog, but he is a non-aggressive dog. As mentioned, he has never in his life bitten anybody. He saved children on the beach practically. There was a child who was practically drowning last summer, and Dr. Seuss went to go save that child. I hardly think that an aggressive dog would do something of that matter. He's deeply loved. Everybody approaches him on the beach. Everybody wants to pet him. He's around infants, 2-year-olds, adults. I mean, everybody. Circles create around us at the beach because he's just so loving and loving natured, and the way we play together. It's just a beautiful, beautiful scene to see by all, and I've never had any other issues with anybody other than the people in the condo.
Okay, I have a couple questions.
Sure.
How long have you owned Dr. Seuss?
5 years.
And how old was Dr. Seuss when you got him?
3 months old. And I have trained him 24/7. He was a COVID dog also.
He was what?
A COVID, so I worked remotely. So I spent 24/7 with him, training him, working with him. So he does have rain. I will admit that.
He has what?
Rain. But he is very well mannered due to my training.
I still didn't catch that word. He
He
has what?
freedom.
He has freedom. I'm not sure exactly what you mean.
I'm not sure exactly how to put that. I mean, he is all, he's on the beach and he runs with me. He chases birds and runs through the water. I'm not chasing birds.
Is your mom going to speak tonight?
Yes, she is.
Okay, I have some questions for her.
Okay, wonderful.
And could you tell me about the address, the Bonaventure Avenue address? I understand that's in Jacksonville Beach. Is that correct?
Correct. Technically, yes.
And could you?
Yes.
And could you tell me, is that a condominium or a single family residence or what?
It's a trailer park. I was forcefully evicted due to the issues arising, and I could no longer take care of my mother post her chemo, during her chemo treatment. So I had to move forcefully. I couldn't take it anymore due to the harassment. So I forcefully had to move, and I took the first thing that came up. And
how long have you lived at Bonaventure?
Since June of last year. And I have had no issues there, Your Honor.
And prior to moving to Bonaventure, where did you live?
With my mother at 1412 First Street North,
and
Unit 309.
And how long did you? When you got Dr. Seuss, were you living with your mother?
At the time, no. I was living with my mother when I started living with my mother when Dr. Seuss turned 4, so about a year and a half after.
A year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be late 23.
That
November
sounds right.
Or October of 2023 is when you moved in.
That sounds about right. Yes.
Okay. And where did you live before you moved in with your mom?
I was living in Neptune Beach with my former fiance.
Okay.
And I had no problems.
Was it a single family residence?
It was a condo. I'm not a condo. It was a duplex.
Like a townhouse kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's all I have for you at the moment.
Thank you.
Okay. So at this time, you may be seated.
Thank you.
At this time, it's apparent to me that we have several people who want to speak. perhaps, let me ask you this. How many people want to speak on behalf of and in support of the animal control of, situation? So I see 3 hands. Is that right? 4. Okay. And then how many? I'm just trying to gauge how we're going to do it. And then how many want to speak on behalf of Mr. Rand? 3? Okay. So I think what we'll try to do is just group them, and then at the very end, I'll let everybody speak on the animal control, then everybody speak on Mr. Rand's side, and then we can have any kind of anything in closing that anybody wants to. I shouldn't say anybody. And Miss Kresh or Mr. Rand want to say at the very end, and I think that's probably the best way. If anybody who didn't already raise their hand decides they want to speak, that's fine too. Just, indicate. I'll try to remember to ask if there's anybody else. But if I don't, jump up and let me know. So I think we'll start with people who want to speak on behalf of or in support of the animal control officer's position. So if you want to, whoever wants to speak first, we'll try to get everybody in.
I'll go first.
Okay, thank you. If you just be sworn in. And
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name and address.
Karen Blackwell, 1412 First Street North, number 208, Jacks Beach, 32250.
thank you very much. Are you related to Mr.
I am.
Richard Blackwell?
I am, but I'm sort of here more on the homeowners association at this point.
Are
Our
you an
management
officer
company
with
could
the
not
HOA?
be here today, so
Excuse me. Are you an officer with the HOA?
I'm the president.
You're the president. Okay. And what was the name of the HOA again, for my record?
North Pablo Beach Condo Association.
Okay, thank you very much. Ms. Blackwell, you may proceed.
So really, I just want to make 2 points. I don't know anything of this petition that she spoke about earlier. And secondly, all the homeowners association is asking for is a dog not be allowed on our property. Ms. Rebecca have even had conversations during a board meeting regarding the dog.
She's had conversations with you?
It was during a board meeting. The dog was brought up, so.
Okay. And when was that about?
I'm going to say October's meeting, maybe October, November's meeting. I would have to check for sure, but I did not intend to be at this meeting. Karen Floyd, we were hoping, who is the actual management company, but she couldn't make it. So I unfortunately don't have those minutes with me, but we could get them if you needed them.
That's okay. Were you at the meeting?
Yes, it was via Zoom.
Okay. And what was said? Do you recall what was said?
It was
generally speaking.
Yeah, it was basically Karen Floyd was letting this Rebecca know that there were issues with the dog, and ultimately the dog issues were going to result probably in some sort of issues for her, and she was even sent a letter from the homeowners association lawyer.
Did you ever see the letter, Ms. Blackwell?
I did see it recently when all this was coming about. We didn't request it.
Okay. Do you kind of, just generally speaking, recall?
It was just another warning letter, basically.
Does the condo association have any rules about dogs?
It does.
And could you tell me what the rules are?
It does just state that there should be no aggressive dogs living in the condo association, and that you have to be the owner of the property in order to maintain a dog.
And one last question about the rules. Do you think those rules are part of the covenants and restrictions, the recorded restrictions, or are those just kind of like bylaws?
No, I believe they are part of the coveted restrictions.
You think they are?
I do.
Okay. Okay.
That's all I had.
Okay. Thank you so very
Yes, ma'am.
much for being here. Who's next? Hello.
Hi.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please state your name and address.
Olivia Rodrigue, 1412, First Street North, apartment 109.
Thank you for being here. You may proceed.
Thank you. I just wanted to talk about the night that I got bit. I was coming back at 8:30 p.m.
Excuse me. Could you speak a little bit
Yeah.
closer to the mic?
Sorry. I was coming home at 8:30 p.m. and with my friend, and I saw Dr. Seuss coming down the stairs, running down the stairs with his leash on, but it was not in control of the owner. And so I just stopped and I didn't keep going anymore. And then Dr. Seuss got to the end of the staircase and I was waiting for the owner to grab hold of the leash. But before she did, he lurched at me and bit me on the back of my arm and on my hip. And I do have pictures of it. It was over a jean jacket and it still did break skin. And I did seek medical advice. And that's kind of all I have to say.
Did the dog bark also when when you said he lunged at you?
Mm.
Was he barking in addition, or just running towards you? And
No, he just ran towards me and bit my arm, pulled on my arm, and then bit my hip.
okay, and that was
Sorry, I guess he did bark when he came at me and bit me. He barked and then, but no warning signs before it.
and that was just so I'm to be certain, that was the I just want to make sure I've got the correct date. That was that on March the 7th,
Yes,
or thereabouts?
March the 7th.
March 7th.
Yeah, at 8:30 p.m.
Okay. And where were you standing? You were in where you
Our condo, before you get to the staircase, there's a parking lot, and before I was kind of in between cars in the parking lot, so probably 7 feet away from the dog, stopped before he ran at me.
Okay. And okay, I don't have any other questions for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, who's next?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name and address.
Sophie Burns, 1412 First Street North, Unit 308. I didn't really prepare anything to say, I was coming more to just listen. But as far as what was said about the first incident where my dog was bit, my now fiance's dog, I don't think that was totally the truth there. I was just coming back from walking him. I was going to go up the stairs to go to our condo. Her dog was off leash per usual. Yes, leash around the neck, never holds the actual leash. That's not in control of the dog per the law. And he came and bit our dog. So I was not trying to introduce them. I already knew that he was an aggressive dog. And I guess I just kind of have a couple questions. Like, are we taking into account the video evidence of how aggressive he acts and when he is off leash? Are we using all that as well as the photos of Olivia's bites?
I don't have the videos. I have the
Okay.
I have the photographs.
Got
I
it.
have several photographs, but I don't have the videos. Oh, you do have the videos?
I just want to make sure those are seen because it displays his aggression. And it's very clear that he is an aggressive dog. He has bit people. And I just want to make sure that is very known. Like, we ended up moving because it was horrible living conditions. I mean, our door was right across. We still own the condo, of course, but we moved.
You don't live there anymore?
No.
Do you still live in the condo somewhere, or no?
We moved
You
off property.
relocated. Are you still in Jack's Beach?
Yep.
And so did the dog, is your boyfriend's dog the Doberman that was referred to?
Yes.
And did that dog ever actually live with you in the condo at Pablo, at the North Pablo?
The Doberman?
Right.
Yes. So my fiance, they have owned this condo for maybe 8 years now.
Okay. So the dog has lived
The
there.
dog has always lived there, yeah.
Okay. And then
If anything, I'm newer.
yeah, you're the new person.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So maybe you could I'm just trying to get a feel for about how long could you tell me that dog's name, the pincher's name?
Duke.
Duke. Okay. How long had Duke been living there?
So he got him when he was 8 weeks, and he's 5 now.
Okay.
So he's lived there his whole life until we moved at the end of February
Okay.
of this year.
Okay. I will want to see the videos.
Yeah, there's plenty of video, and where the video is directed, so it's a ring doorbell camera. It's common property, like it's in the condominium association.
I
There's
understand.
no.
And the videos are, you produce the videos from your Ring camera, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got the ring doorbell camera, so that I could go in and out more easily because I was not wanting to run into the dog,
Right.
who did, in fact, bite Olivia pretty badly. She was wearing denim, so thank God for that, but
Okay.
he got her good, and he's shown many signs of aggression over whatever year and a half, 2 years, whatever it was. Made a really difficult living situation, and I went to the board, I went to the management, I went to animal control, and just the inconsideration was incredible. It made it hard for everyone to live, especially us, being that our front door was 3 feet from theirs, and it's in a dead-end corner. So
Okay.
we ended up moving.
Okay. I don't have any other questions right now.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Are there others?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
So help me God, yes.
Please state your name and address.
My name is Richard Blackwell. I'm at 1412 First Street North, apartment 208,
Thank
Jacks
you.
Beach.
Thank you very much. You may proceed.
Okay. My first encounter with the dog was basically one time I come home, I'm getting ready to walk up the stairs, and there's nothing but a big puddle of pee at the bottom of the stairs. That is when I come to realize that what she would do is just let the dog go, let it run down the stairs, use the bathroom wherever it wanted to, so be it. The problem I have in a way is that the basic law is keep your dog on a leash. We even have a sign in our yard that says keep the dog off the leash. Obviously, she doesn't want to abide by the rules in the condo because she doesn't own it. She doesn't have any say in it, but it's her rules. It's what she wants to do. She also shows those rules by just letting the dog run across First Street over to the beach. She's even confessed to the point that she has a dog out on the beach with no leash. Now, don't we have an ordinance that says you're supposed to have your dog on the leash when you're on the beach? So she's basically showing us that the laws don't abide to her. She also, when she goes out, she talks about playing with the dog, with the tennis balls. Well, the next thing you know, she comes back. We got tennis balls all over our yard because she don't want to pick them up on top of everything else. I just want to say, if she would have kept her dog on a leash, we wouldn't have got to this point. We're only at this point, and it's taken 1.5 to 2 years to get here. So we've tried to do our due diligence about this. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them.
I don't have any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak in support of the animal control's position at this time? Okay, then we'll move to your witnesses, Ms. Duran.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and address.
Rebecca Tarones, 14581 Harewood Court, Jacksonville, Florida, 32258.
And I apologize, but I did not catch your name.
Rebecca. Rebecca.
Rebecca?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your last name or your first
That's my first name. Rebecca Tarones is my entire name.
name? Okay. You may proceed.
Thank you. I'm going to get I believe you have a copy of my affidavit, but I can cite from it as well. So I am the sole proprietor of a dog boarding business for the last 5 years. The name of it is Forever by Your Side, LLC.
Forever what?
Forever by Your Side, LLC.
Forever by your side?
Correct. That is my personal dog boarding business. I am also a 1099 employee of Rover, which is a dog boarding app. And I also work as a 1099 employee for dog days and cat naps. So through 3 programs, I board dogs for the last 5 years.
How long has you had the Forever by Your Side LLC?
For 3 years.
And do you do the dog and pet or animal care in your home?
Yes, I do.
Okay, please proceed.
So I would like to share that through this experience of dog boarding that I have had, and I board them in my home, and I've had multiple experience with different dogs of different sizes, breeds, temperaments. I have them for sometimes 2 weeks at a time or a couple of days at a time. I have them in a household with me and my 3 children, as well as our resident dog, our resident cat, and our fish.
But what I can say is that I can attest to the fact that Dr. Seuss, who I have boarded on many occasions over the last 5 years, he is one of the most gentle and loyal dogs that I've actually have experience with. I have pictures of him cuddling and sleeping with my children even when they were at the tender age of 5. He is not an aggressive dog. I have never feared for my children's safety in his presence. I've never feared for my other animals' safety in his presence. In fact, they get along really well. I have unfortunately had an experience where I had another dog that I was boarding. He took the life of our family cat. We used to have 2. Now we only have 1. And through this, I have truly recognized what a dangerous dog is, and Dr. Seuss is far from that. I would also like to mention, and this is just my opinion, that I don't really believe that this is necessarily about Dr. Seuss and his behavior. I feel like I have had experience with the people that are in this room over the last few years, and I almost feel, for lack of a better words, that they're showing a bully mentality.
A what?
A bully mentality. My mother has resided at the residence since 2002, 2003, and I have firsthand experience of Mr. Blackwell walking up to my mom's vehicle and yelling at her in front of my children, her grandchildren, for other matters. I have seen this harassment go on for a long time now. Also, I would like to speak to.
Excuse me.
Sure.
Is it your mother
She's
or
my mother. Rebecca Duran is my mother.
are you sisters?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Do you recall what Mr. Blackwell said to your mother?
I don't, because it was maybe 8 years ago. It's been this ongoing tension between them and my mother. I don't know, because my mom wanted to be on the board. She was on the board, I think, at one point. She requested that they install a handicap ramp because my mother cannot walk good, and they refused her of that. So there's always just kind of been, it's not for the good of the people in the condominium. It's more of I think, a power control amongst them. And I feel like they gathered with this petition and this hatefulness. And even as she was speaking, they were in your courtroom mocking her and laughing. So this is not the kind of behavior of people who genuinely have a concern of somebody's health. It's more so they're just out to get her, I feel like, no matter what. In terms of the Doberman Pinscher, I think she said the name was Duke. I had an experience where I was visiting my mother's home as she came home from the hospital from cancer treatment. My sister had to go to work because my sister was the one that was taking care of my mom during this treatment process, since I live at a distance, plus I have 3 children that are in school. So my sister has been living with my mother, taking care of her through this really troublesome time. And my mother called me and said that Dr. Seuss needed to use a restroom because she was working. So I went over to my mother's house. I brought Dr. Seuss down the stairs on a leash. And as he was urinating in the grass, not on concrete where people walk, but in the grass, the Doberman Pinscher was with the gentleman, the owner. And that dog actually approached really aggressively and started barking at Dr. Seuss, super aggressively barking. And at one point, I even said to the gentleman, "Control your dog," because I was terrified that I was now going to have to deal with an animal fight amongst 2 big dogs because of the way the Doberman Pinscher approached. So I'm not sure if it's actually.
When do you think that happened?
I would say that was probably 2 years ago. Yeah, I would say it was probably around maybe around 2023, actually.
And so you had Dr. Seuss in the grass
Correct.
at the time?
Yes,
And was Dr. Seuss, did you have the dog leashed?
I did have him on the leash.
So, and the Duke was also on a leash?
He was also on the leash, and he was barking and he was pulling the owner, and he kept barking. And
What
instead
was
of
Dr. Seuss doing?
also barking back, yes. But when I yelled, "Control your dog," I was wondering, why is this gentleman not walking up the stairs or pulling the dog away? Why is he allowing this to continue? He was walking on the side of the stairs, and I was on the side of the grass, which is on the other side of the parking lot. And so, in order for me to take Dr. Seuss up the stairs to my mother's condo, that means that I would have had to walk in the same path as the other dog. So I was saying, control your dog, and he didn't bring him upstairs, and he allowed it to continue on for about 3 minutes. That was extremely uncomfortable and scary. So I don't think that Dr. Seuss is the only dog in the condominium. This dog here has shown aggression towards Dr. Seuss, and to me personally, when you're looking at a large Doberman pinscher who's showing aggression, I was scared that my children were going to get hurt in the process of it. Let's see. I also I have notes. Also, I know that they mentioned that they had multiple videos and pictures of Dr. Seuss coming in and out of the entryway of my mother's household. However, a majority of those pictures have pictures of my children on the camera. I was not provided a consent form. I was actually extremely upset to know that these pictures were being sent either to animal control or to wherever else. Pictures and images of my children. There was no permission requested to film private videos of my children going in and out of my mother's house to visit their grandmother. And so when we had the door open and Dr. Seuss would come out the door and he would greet myself and my children, and then he would go right back inside. And those videos are the ones that I'm sure she sent, because the dog is just walking out and greeting my children and then going back in. So he's not technically on a leash for those few seconds, but he walked right back in the house with us.
Have you seen the videos?
I have seen I've seen the pictures and the videos, because my mother also has a Ring camera. So the same thing that they're sending is something that my mother's Ring camera is picking up as well.
Okay.
And also, I can attest that I have also seen them walk in their house with Duke, the Doberman Pinscher, not on the leash, trailing behind the gentleman that lives there. I've also seen that on the Ring camera, on the Ring video. It's not a Ring, it's like Blink, but I've seen that on there. So I just think that it's very hypocritical as to what they're complaining about today. Also, I feel like I cannot guarantee that they're providing the actual representation, because I was under the impression that a Mr. Stephen Adams was the president of the HOA, not Ms. Blackwell. So I'm not sure if that's even an accurate position of hers.
I'm sorry. What?
Ms. Blackwell, she claimed that she was the president of the HOA, but it was my understanding that it's actually Mr. Stephen Adams.
Who?
Mr. Stephen Adams. I think she
And
falsely.
what makes you think that?
Because with research. The only reason that I mention that is because I think it attests to the characters that they're constantly providing false information. Also in my notes, I have that I saw the picture of the scratch marks on the lady who claimed that she got bit. Being a dog boarder for over 5 years, I have personally been bit. I have had skin broken where it's scarred. I'm glad to see that she's healed nicely, because I didn't see any scars on her elbow. I have currently scratches on myself from other dogs that I have boarded. I have not brought it to the level of complaining to the owner, because they are dogs. They're not humans. They're going to jump and scratch. They don't scratch intentionally. They just jump up, and with their paws and nails, it causes scratch marks sometimes. And my own dog has scratched my mom's arm just out of trying to jump up and be loving, and that's scarred. So after seeing the pictures of the, I think Miss Rodriguez, after seeing her pictures, to me it looked nowhere near a bite. It was definitely all scratch marks, just from the weight of the dog jumping on her skin. That there was no broken skin there. Let's see if I had any. Okay, so I think just to kind of summarize what I'm saying is that I think Dr. Seuss is a really intelligent dog, and he's very loving. I love the fact that when my mother was going through her troublesome times of her cancer treatment, that this dog would bring her love and comfort, and he would lay at her feet when she wasn't feeling good and brought her that warmth and joy that she needed at that time of feeling defeat. Again, I'm happy to show pictures of of Dr. Seuss cuddling with my children. He lays in the bed with them. He's over for Christmas. He's over for holidays. We cherish him. And I definitely would not have a dangerous dog over at my house, especially even leaving the dogs unsupervised. If I took my children out of the house or if I took them to school, some dogs that I feel are a little bit more temperamental, I will lock up my cat in another room. I will make sure my dog is okay, or sometimes even cage them if I need to. But when Dr. Seuss is there, I am very comfortable with my cat running free, my other dogs there, my children there. So I definitely do not have any fear for this dog. And I just feel like this is not so much more of a discussion of them having a problem with the dog, more so if it's just a personal matter, and this is their way to try to make it personal.
Oh, the only question I've got is, could you tell me generally the age of your children?
Yes, my oldest is 13, 10, and 8.
Okay, thank you.
And we have been with Dr. Seuss for the last 5 years.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate the time.
Okay. Hello.
Hi, I'm Brian Margolis.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
Please state your name and address.
Brian Margolis, 222 14th Avenue North, Unit 202, Jacks Beach, 32250.
Just to be clear, you don't. It's a different address. You're not.
I'm a family friend.
You're a family friend.
Yes,
But you don't live in the same condo
No, 1 block away.
association. Okay. You may proceed.
Okay, I'm just family friend, and I've known Becca and Dr. Seuss for over 3 years, almost 4 years now. And he is a very nice dog. I never had any problems with him. I go to the beach with them, watch him play ball up and down. Kids, people, everybody comes up. They want to throw the ball with him, pet him. He is a very nice dog. And I think that, I don't know if I can comment on some of the comments made earlier.
It's sworn testimony. You can.
Okay,
Unless
because
you start,
it seems to me
you know.
like a lot of the issues that were brought up is kind of speculative. That I'm afraid to do this, afraid to do that, when nothing actually happened. It's all hearsay from what I've heard the testimony from the animal control side, from the plaintiffs. So, and what I witnessed being a family friend and with Dr. Seuss, he's a great dog. I never had an issue with him at all. I see him get along great with everyone. And I think that a lot of it, like I said, outside looking in, it looks like more of a harassment situation where they're building a case when there was really nothing going on.
How often are you around Dr. Seuss? And
Probably
let's say in the last year, how often do you think?
I'd say right now probably 4 times a week, 5 times a week.
Right now?
Yes.
But over the course of the last year, how?
About the same, because I go with Becca. We take them to the Brewhound Dog Park over there off of Mayport Road. I don't know if you're familiar with that. And there's plenty of dogs. Dr. Seuss plays with everyone. Everyone loves him. And if he was aggressive, they wouldn't allow him on the property. And I go there probably 2-3 times a week with him, and he gets along fine with everyone. So what's being brought up here is kind of news to me because I don't see it at all in his personality.
Okay, thank you.
And I just wanted to throw that in there. So, like I said, I'm not owner, but I do spend a lot of time with him. And he is a very good dog. And also, Becca's a very good owner. He's very intelligent dog. He listens very well. If she says, "Come here, sit down," he sits down right away. He's not running rampant wild like people are trying to make him seem like that. Since she spends a lot of time with him 24/7, she says something, he listens right away. You know, I've never seen a dog that intelligent that actually listens that well. And that's all I have, unless you have any questions for me.
I don't have any
Good.
questions.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you, but you need
Please
to be
raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, yes.
Please state your name and address.
Rebecca Doran, 1412 First Street North, 309 Jacks Beach, Florida, 32250.
You may proceed.
Your Honor, I've been 38 years with criminal investigations with the federal government, and I think I can detect what's criminal and what isn't. And I have got to tell you, my opinion of this has been total harassment from the neighbors at where I live. I have owned my condo for 21 years. I have personally lived in it now for 14 years. Up until about 3-4 years ago, there were no problems at all. We had a beautiful place to live. Things changed. I was on also the HOA board, and I detected some personalities that I didn't want to deal with because I'm not the property manager. But by the way, the property manager was told by Ms. Blackwell that she ought to be fired. This is the property manager that owns the real estate, okay? And Karen Blackwell told her several years ago, you ought to be fired. So we're looking at, I think, personalities. We're looking at discrimination. We're looking at, just vindictiveness and spitefulness. I would like to then, if you have any questions on that, Your Honor, I'd go ahead and listen before I start something else.
Okay.
Okay. Dr. Seuss has been many times in my house. Matter of fact, my daughter, Rebecca, when I was ill, she and Dr. Seuss maintained my condo for me. And so that's why she was living there for a while. During her tenure there, she came to me and she was telling me when I was recuperating, Mr. Blackwell said to her outside something about the dog. So was going on, and Mr. Blackwell said to her, F you. So this is kind of personalities that we're dealing with. And, I disrespect these people because of their treatment of my daughter. It's been total harassment. It's just total harassment. I refuse to go on the board anymore. I didn't submit my name. I don't have anything to do because Miss Karen Blackwell is now on the board. Mr. Blackwell was on the board, and there is a sense of I'm running this place. And so I just said, I'm not dealing with it. I stay by myself pretty much. I don't touch anybody. I don't do anything wrong. And as far as getting a letter from the attorney, I was told during a virtual meeting with the HOA, well, with the owners of the condos, I was told that I was liable for her dog. And I'm going like, what? I'm liable? If somebody would come and visit you and they wanted to start a fight with someone else and they injured this other person, would you then be liable? So they're just not thinking these things through. It's just very quick. Jump on it. It's a good opportunity to complain. It's a good opportunity to run my reputation down. It's a good opportunity to complain. It's harassment. So as far as my neighbor across the way, thank God they have moved. The gentleman is nice. He's super. His dad owns a condo. He was living there with Miss Burns for a while. And I've got to say, I had to install a blink camera as well. But most of the time, I had to keep it off because she was in and out of the condo 40 times a day. And it was ringing up my blink camera and my phone. So, I mean, she was a busybody, pretty much, I think. As far as her dog is concerned, or the gentleman's dog, Duke. On Christmas Day, I saw. Can you still hear me?
Is it on?
Oh, okay. On Christmas Day, Duke's owner, the gentleman, Case, was walking down the hallway with the armful of things, and the dog was not on. He did not have the leash in his hand. So there are times that other people don't have the leash in their hand. It's understandable. He couldn't handle it. That's okay. I'm not complaining about that. Just about 5 weeks ago, there was a lady who is the Case. I think it's Case's mom, the son's mom, was next door. And as I was walking out, our doors, like this is their door and here's my door. And I was walking out my door. She was leaving Sophie's door, and she walked out. The dog walked out by itself. He wasn't on a leash either. So my point is, all of these people complaining that I've seen things, I just didn't say anything. I have actually petted Duke many times. I mean, he doesn't do anything. He's just kind of a dog, But compared to Dr. Seuss, there's no comparison. Dr. Seuss is highly intelligent, very, very intelligent. He will come into the house, and first thing he does is come to me, put his nose on me as if to say hello, and then he walks off and does his thing. But he's not such a sweet dog. I mean, I almost look at him as another child. So, that's just in summary. I agree with my daughter Rebecca, who said there's not a sweeter dog. And as you know, I've been around for a while since I did work in different places, different countries. So I've had exposure to a lot of situations.
Okay, thank you. Do you know about? You said you'd been on the HOA board,
Yes, I have.
and you said that about 3 or 4 years ago things changed. Was that just part and parcel of when you were on the board? I don't want to get into necessarily.
No, things changed because certain people, I'm going to go ahead and say it, Blackwells, have taken over the HOA board pretty much and think they own the place. I did have some, and I'm an easygoing person, and having worked with the government for 38 years, I have to, and as a supervisor manager, I know how to treat people and I, with respect. I don't start businesses like that. It's yeah. I think that is the reason why I didn't want to go back on the board. I'm not going to fight people with that kind of mentality or disposition.
Okay, and so about how many? Do you recall how many units there are in the condominium?
27.
I'm just looking at my notes.
Yes, there's another thing I'd like to mention.
Okay.
I think on the most recent incident with Dr. Seuss, we have an elevator in the building. It's certainly not accommodating to people who need walkers like me right now. And I mean, it's just, there's no ramp, there's nothing, no handrails on steps walking up to the landing or anything. And during this time, the elevator was out about 3 months. And the property owner said, property manager, I'm sorry, said to me, I'll let you know when the elevator comes back in, because she knows that I normally use my walker because I have also a bad knee. Nobody told us when the elevator was going to be fixed or anything other than not supposed to be up in a couple more weeks. In a couple more weeks, it wasn't finished. Well, the time that the incident happened with Sue's supposedly scratching that lady, the last one, the elevator was out, and my daughter had to take Seuss down the steps. Now he's like a 125-pound dog, and I would not walk with a leash on with him down those steps because you can't tell a dog to take one step at a time and walk at a human pace. They run down the steps. He would have pulled my daughter on her face down the steps. She normally takes the elevator, but the elevator was out. So that one time she did take Sue down the stairs, but like was said earlier, she has very good control over Seuss. He listens to her explicitly, and she'll say, "Get down." He'll bring her a plate, empty plate, after he finishes his eat. He'll pick up the plate if it's empty. He'll take it to her, like, "Give me some more, something else to eat." He is this intelligent. So anybody that wants to question that this dog is a vicious dog, he definitely is not.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any other questions.
I don't have any questions. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I see someone raising their hand. Is that because you'd like to speak? Okay.
Wasn't prepared to go.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please state your name and address.
Doria Rodrigue, 3618 Eastbury Drive, Jacksonville, Florida 32224. And
Are you related?
Yes,
to
I'm
Olivia?
related to Olivia Rodrigue. I'm her mother.
Okay.
And I just wanted to say, on the date of the dog bite, that evening I was called by one of the neighbors that lives in the building, Anna. What is her last name? Anna Miller. She's a friend of ours. We've met since my daughter's lived in the building since July of last summer. Anna called me pretty upset, and she said, "I just want to let you know that Olivia has been bit by a dog." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Is she home?" And she said, "She's hysterical, but she's okay." But luckily she was wearing a denim jacket. She turned her back, and Anna explained to me exactly what happened. And then I spoke to Olivia. Olivia was upset, but she was on the phone with the police. The police department, Jacksonville Beach Police, did respond to her apartment. She did show the police officer the injury, and it's a bite, and it's clearly a bite. It's not a scratch. It's pretty bad. And later on, she got bruising, and you could see the puncture. The puncture wasn't really deep because she did have a denim jacket on, but it started to bruise even further. So the following day, she went to get medical treatment to get it evaluated by a doctor. So, anyways, I'm just telling you what I heard from the phone call from the neighbor who witnessed immediately after it happened. She walked into the parking lot because she was walking Miss Blackwell's dog. She was taking care of the dog because Mr. and Mrs. Blackwell were out of town. And Anna Miller came around the corner, and it had just happened. And Olivia was hysterical, crying. And that's when Anna took pictures and said, "We need to call the police." So that's all I have to say.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't. If there's somebody who has not spoken, then I'd like to hear from them. But we are.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name and address.
Michael Walther, 105 Trudy D Lane, formerly 1412 First Street North, 308 across from.
And could you say your name again? So
It's Michael Walther. I go by Case.
Walters.
Walther.
Thank you.
Just go whenever.
You may proceed.
Oh, thank you. I just want to say that the evidence is pretty clear. I mean, we've been sending in videos and there's been multiple bites. There's been lies throughout. And to just come up here and suggest that none of it has taken place when everyone is on the same page, that we just asked originally, just keep the dog on a leash and it'll be fine. But she refused to do that. It resulted in multiple people being bit. We have video evidence of it happening, of her constantly not having the dog on the leash, of lying to officers, just for months and months. I mean, it really changed our quality of life at the condo, and transparently, we moved earlier on than we would have simply because we couldn't take it anymore. I mean, Sophie couldn't watch our dog there alone because she'd be afraid she'd just have a run-in with the dog and our dog get bit again. There's just completely outlandish lies that our dog was somehow aggressive or unleashed or jumping on people, just categorically false. And to suggest up here like there's this big conspiracy, that's just not factual. We have all the video evidence of this behavior being constant that we'd be happy to re-forward. We've sent it to the animal control multiple times. It's just been a persistent issue for years. And really all that we wanted was the dog to be leashed because it was aggressive, and they refuse to believe that because their dog is nice to them in their own home, and they're just delusional about the reality. So I just wanted to say my 2 cents because I think everybody would be at a disservice if this dog is back on the streets and bite somebody else. And she's also clearly shown that she's not going to respect the rules. The dog's already been off leash at the beach with Olivia again here recently. So I just would appreciate taking the facts into consideration rather than this family just putting these lies together.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't want to hear from anybody who's already spoken. Okay, is there anybody that wants to speak that has not spoken? Okay. At this time, what I'd like to do is ask Ms. Kresh, have you viewed the videos? What? Yes, please. Thanks. Have you viewed the videos?
Yes.
Can you give me an idea how many are we talking about?
So the total count of videos over the period of time that this case was open was probably over 50 videos. We do have 5 of them in the shared drive that we could view here.
And do any of them? I'm respectful of
none of them show any
children
minors
being in the video, and I want to know whether or not any of those have any images of children.
None of the videos that we have submitted for viewing here include any minors.
Okay. And do you have any concerns about the videos? Because you didn't mention them to me to begin with, but I'm just wondering.
The videos that we received mostly showed Dr. Seuss off leash, either leaving or coming back to the residence. There are a couple videos that were sent that show Dr. Seuss charging at the front door of Miss Burns. There's also a couple videos of Dr. Seuss barking at people as they're walking through the hall when he is restrained on a leash. And
Okay.
I think there are 5 videos that we have sent that we can view.
And do we have testimony of who took those videos?
Yes.
I may need to get Ms. Rodriguez to come back just to state that I need to know who took the videos.
The videos
And-
were from the Ring camera of Miss Burns, who is here.
Oh, Miss Burns.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Wrong person. Okay. Okay. I don't, how long do you think that the 5 will take to watch?
The videos are just snippets, so I think
Snippets.
each video
Okay.
is about 10 seconds.
So I'd
10
like
seconds
to,
long each.
yeah, and I just want to have testimony. Do we have dates when they were taken? Can you
Yes,
tell from?
each video has a timestamp
Has a
on the
date.
bottom right corner.
Okay. I'm going to let them come in as evidence, but I will need Miss Burns to come back up and just. What I'm going to ask you to do is watch the video that Miss Kresher is going to show, and then I need you to state for the record that that the videos, after you've seen them, that to verify that they are the videos that you took from your Ring camera and you provided to the city. Okay? But I want you to watch them so that you can in fact confirm that.
Okay.
Okay? Could you stop for a moment? Could you tell me what the date is of this one?
16 and 24.
Say it again.
January 16th, 2024.
Okay, thank you. What's the date of that one?
March 13th, 2024.
And what was the date of that last one?
April 29th, 2024.
Is that all 5 of them?
That was all.
Okay. And Ms. Burns, would you confirm that the 5 videos that we just saw, that please confirm that those are the ones that you took from your condominium, your residence ring camera?
Yes, I confirm that.
And those are the ones that you provided to animal control?
Those are 5 of the many, many that I provided, yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Could I make a comment?
No.
Okay.
I'm just trying to be fair to everybody. Okay, and like I said at the beginning, I would, allow both Ms. Duran to have some closing statement, and then I will ask Ms. Kresh for the animal control's recommendation today.
Your Honor, one thing I did fail to point out was the affidavit from the Brewhound, and I believe my close friend here mentioned all of the numbers of times that we have been participating at the Brewhound since 2020. If he was in fact a dangerous dog, he would be banned from Brewhound. They are very, very particular about what type of dogs are allowed there. So I just want to point that out. But in my closing remarks, I just want to make this easy, and I think we all can be on the same page with this. We can certainly understand from my standpoint and my immediate family and my friends and from everybody else outside of the condo that Dr. Seuss is not in fact a dangerous dog. He is just a big dog who happens to be a German Shepherd who is protective. I can make this easy for anybody and everybody. My only ask is for him not to be deemed a dangerous dog, and I am happy to comply with him, just not with him being banned from the condo. If that is all it takes in order for all this to suffice, and then I am happy with that. I know there are a few different character types in here. As my mom mentioned, there are characters such as the Blackwells, we have had. He has definitely shown profanity against me, but we passed that, so I'm no longer going to touch on that. Dr. Seuss is the type of dog, he runs away from confrontation. He doesn't start confrontation. Any dogs that come close to him, he runs away. And he, as I mentioned earlier, Your Magistrate, he doesn't approach people in an aggressive manner. Video, shows him barking, but that's what dogs do. So that doesn't deem him a dangerous dog. I am on a certain matter, a certain note. The HOA, the condo, they do not have a ramp access, so I know that if it's possible, if we could get some ADA access for my mother there, that would be great, because right now she is holding on to a bush to climb up a step, and I don't think that is what's supposed to happen. So, and I know that you might be able to justify that. But in my closing remarks, yes, Dr. Seuss is a big dog, but he's not a dangerous dog. I'm happy to keep him away from the condo as long as he is not deemed a dangerous dog. He's my everything. He's the only thing that I have. My best friend. He's the only thing that I've ever loved. So I can't imagine having him, suffering with a nozzle and stuff over his mouth. That's just not a Dr. Seuss trait, and so I just can't fathom that idea. Your Honor.
I do have some questions.
Sure.
One, did you get the letter that was sent by the HOA lawyer?
I did.
You did get it?
Yes.
What did it, I understand that it was a warning letter?
Yes.
Is that correct?
And post that letter, I did keep him on the leash. Now, granted, prior to that letter, I did allow Dr. Seuss off leash around there, sure. But post letter, I did abide by the rules and I did keep him on the leash. Just right there in the vicinity of the where the front door is, that's when I would let the leash go or walk a few feet before grabbing
Why
onto
is
the
that?
leash. My hands might have been full. Just because I don't have an answer to that. It was just a natural thing. I mean, he's all just been well behaved. So I just didn't find it necessary. But post the letter, I did abide by the rules.
When did you get the letter?
I actually have the letter. The letter dates May 10th, 2024.
And so on. So, but both of the actions that are noted here are after that letter. One was June 10th, 24.
Which actions?
And then the one just this past month was March of 2025.
Which actions are you referring to, Your Honor?
The two that are in the
the
the report.
Well, yes, because from the letter, I took it as on property, so I kept him on leash on property, but I was still being photographed off property without leash. So while I
Both
was
of
on
these
property,
incidents were on property that I'm referring to. The June 10th of 24 and the March 7th of 25.
so the March 7th of 25, that was because the elevator was broken, and I could not use the elevator. I could not use the leash with the elevator. And then the first one is referencing walking in and out of the door without the leash.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Thank you.
Ms. Gresh, would you? I'd like to. We've heard all the evidence. I'd like to hear what the city's recommendation is at this point.
So just for a clarification on new address, so Ms. Doran, your new address is not east of the ICW, correct?
Wait, I can't hear your question.
Her new address, the Bonaventura Avenue, I believe is not east of the ICW, correct? Of the bridge? Is it east?
Over the bridge.
Over the bridge.
Yeah.
So it would not be in our jurisdiction?
It's not in Jacksonville Beach.
So the zip code is still 32250, but it is not. It is not our
address.
Yeah, correct. So
Okay,
just to
hold on. I'm losing my voice. Excuse me. So I apologize. I'm not sick. Sorry. I apologize. Okay, please. Okay, I appreciate that clarification because that is going to be important where the dog is currently living. One moment. Mr. Rand, is your dog living with you on Bonaventure now?
Yes.
Then I have a couple of questions about it. You said that, is there any yard associated with your Bonaventure residence?
Yes.
And is it currently fenced?
It is not, but I do keep them. I made a leash thing that goes from tree to tree, and he's on leash at all times.
Say that again.
It's a dog run.
It's a dog run
From
Okay.
tree to tree. Yeah, with a leash attached
between
to it.
trees that
Correct.
were adjacent to your residence.
Yes, right in front of my front yard. Yes. And he is much happier there.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I apologize for interrupting, but I did want to hear this. Okay, so we know that Bonaventure is in Jacksonville, not Jacksonville Beach, and we know that at the residence on Bonaventure, that Miss Duran has installed the dog run there for any time that the dog is outside. You're saying that the dog, whenever the dog's outside, the dog's on the dog run, or on your leash.
Correct.
Oh, okay. So back to the city. I'd like to hear what the recommendation is, please.
So the city's recommendation is still the same of declaring Dr. Seuss a dangerous dog. This is based off of his behavior when not in control of Miss Doran. We do also think that if he does currently live in Jacksonville, that's fantastic, but we would like him not to return to the residence here in Jacksonville Beach.
Not return to,
The residence here in Jacksonville Beach, which he previously lived at.
thank you very much. So I want you to know that I take these cases very seriously. And I do think that Dr. Seuss is dangerous. Under the definition of danger, a dangerous dog in both the under the Florida statutes as well as under the Jacksonville Beach statute. I think that the photographs of the bite, in my opinion, that's a bite. It has broken the skin from the photographs. I'm not a doctor, but it looks to me like it's broken the skin. I see a lot of red, and I think that is indication of the dog attacking a person and certainly being willing to bite. It's quite, perhaps it's quite lucky that Miss Rodriguez had a jean jacket on and was able to turn as she testified. I think that the videos, particularly the ones in January 16th, March 13th, and April 29th, show not only that the dog's not on the leash, but also pretty aggressive behavior by a dog. That, for all intents and purposes, from what I could see from those videos, unprovoked. There's nothing that provoked that behavior that I could see in the video. I recognize that, there may be personalities involved, but just looking at the bare evidence, the factual evidence, if you will, the objective evidence, it seems to me that that evidence shows that Dr. Seuss can be extremely aggressive, and again, for no apparent reason. I think that it's going to be very important to, you know, that Mr. Rand, that you control your dog, and the only way to do that is to have him on a leash. You know, if he, one thing I'm going to say is that it's hard for me to believe that if he's so well behaved, that you can't control him walking down a stairwell when he's on the leash. And you know, that's hard for me to say both that he's so well behaved, and yet you are afraid to hold on to him with a leash while you're walking down the stairs. That the two don't jibe, from my perspective. I try to only look at, because I want to say I do understand what your dog means to you. Your dog is not going to be taken away from you, but I think that the behavior over the last, year and a half has been has shown that that Dr. Seuss can be extremely aggressive, and that he has bitten a person. He's attacked a person, and again for no apparent reason. So I am going to declare the dog dangerous. I'm going to rule that he cannot return to the residence in Jacksonville Beach. I'm also going to rule that you will have to report this dog to Jacksonville as a dangerous dog, and you will need to register Dr. Seuss as a dangerous dog in Jacksonville. I'm also going to rule that you should I would prefer that your residents have an enclosure. I think that you should consider somehow having some kind of enclosure, but I also understand that may not be possible at your current residence. But the restraint will be necessary. The restraint of if you don't have the dog on the leash, then you'll have to have the dog on the dog run. There are other provisions that you'll be required to do under the Jacksonville Beach Code. And you'll have to make sure that the dog has his vaccinations. You'll have to do some kind of chip or something for Dr. Seuss. And I think that what I'm going to do is have you register in Jacksonville Beach. I will waive the $50 fee for that registration, but then you will be required, because the dog is living in Jacksonville, you'll be required under my order to register the dog in Jacksonville. And, not that you have any intention of ever doing this, but should you ever sell or give Dr. Seuss away, you're required to advise and notify the owner that he has been declared to be dangerous. I think that, like I said, I take these cases very seriously, and I'm sorry that it's come to this, but I honestly think that it's the best thing for you and for Dr. Seuss to recognize that under the law and the provisions that we have in Jacksonville Beach and the state, not just Jacksonville Beach, but the state definition, that he should be classified as a dangerous dog. And I think that the measures that you'll take to, or be required to take, will be protective, not only for the public, but quite frankly for him, for Dr. Seuss. So I don't have anything else at this point. I will prepare an order. It will probably take about 4 or 5 business days. And I will prepare the order and provide it to the city. And then the city will prepare it and provide it to you. So I want to say to everybody who came out today to testify, I appreciate it. I appreciate the effort that you've taken, Ms. Duran, to be here. And of course, for everyone who took the time to come and testify. It indicates to me that it's important to all of you, and it allows me to make a more fully informed decision. So I appreciate that on everybody's part. I don't have anything else, and we're concluded. Thank you.